Hi, welcome to Consistent Uploads, episode 0. My name's Julian, and so it's been nearly 2 years since I've made one of these videos, but it has been a pretty significant 2 years. I graduated high school, and I started not high school at the University of
Redacted.
But we're back, and I don't know if you see it, but I've got a Furby. And today we're going to be making some fabric jams. So okay, I'm actually taking from 3 suggestions here, all of which are nearly 2 years old. Karma VA suggested I make electronic pants music. John Hagman suggested Pantfunk, and Nicholas Jimo suggested I make Sockjazz. Now I think all 3 of these would be great on their own, but today, just for a little goof, a little laugh, if for nothing else than for the revival of me, we're gonna combine these 3 suggestions. This is how to make electronic Pantfunk Sockjazz fusion. Now the first thing I'm gonna do, as Karma suggested, is to gather samples of pants and socks, including zippers, buttons, ripping fabric, and some other stuff that I don't really know how to sample. I'm gonna be sampling these Levi's 511s, size 29-30, because I'm tiny. If you want to make some electronic Pantfunk Sockjazz fusion of your own, I suggest the 511s for that warm denim sound. The main issue with the 511s, of course, is that there's no 1/4" direct out, meaning you actually have to mic the pants. Now, if you can get your hands on some $4,500 sequin-embellished wool track pants by Gucci, these will provide the ideal sound, and they probably come with a direct out for that price. Now, the site does ensure a dry, clean signal, so you're good. Anyway, step 1 is going to be to construct a basic drum set using pants. For a kick drum, we can take a pile of Levi's 511s, size 29-30s, and give them a little bit of a smack. Then we're going to EQ out some of the high end and distort it around 120 Hz. For a hi-hat, I'm going to use the flick of the pants button. Again, add some distortion, EQ out some of the low end, and give it a little bit of an envelope. Snare was a little more difficult. I decided to go with the sound of a zipper played in reverse. I compressed it a little bit, got rid of some of that high garbage and some of that low garbage, and gadzeeks, you have a snare. Step 2 is socks. I decided to go with this already destroyed mess of a sock that I had, and after some experimenting, I found that a simple rip worked as a pretty convincing snap. I was also pleasantly surprised with how well this strand of sock worked as a bass when tugged like a string. Now by itself, the sound is kind of empty, so I'm actually gonna double it an octave up and pair it with this other synth bass. Last but not least, we're gonna need to construct a popcorn sock. Popcorn, sock. Put the popcorn in the sock. Popcorn sock. And with that, we've got a pretty decent percussion library with some sock bass to help. And step 3, composition. Funk music. Okay, so repetition is obviously a very important part, but it's not the most appealing as the composer. You gotta remember though, that it might take multiple repetitions of a groove for it to really vibe with the listener. What I'm trying to say is just vibe. Now I'm gonna lay out our tune in the typical A-B structure, you know, who cares? We'll be in B flat minor. We'll start off by building up the instrumentation, adding more and more samples of pants and socks to build a beat. Then we can introduce some hot B flat minor pentatonic garbage. The B section can be a little more groove based, something basic, who cares? We don't need big boy chords. Not yet. 1-4, 1-4. That's funk music. Keep the 4 chord as a dominant 7, but don't resolve it. What do you want that to resolve? Back to 1. Back to tonic. 1-4, 1-4, 1. That's all you need. That's stinky. That's funky. That's like your socks after a day of hitting that yeen, as my fellow Gen Zers would say. We'll do a few runs of the A section, the B section, then we'll go into a solo section. It goes on for a little too long. Oh, but here we can add some actual chord changes. We'll start on the 1 on the tonic, B flat minor 9, 1 minor 9 for cool points, kind of crunchy, kind of. Then we'll hit that C dominant 7. Now, class, what purpose does this C7 serve? Is it secondary dominant 2-5? No, this isn't box. It's not even jazz, 2-5-1. No, this is electronic Pantfunk Sockjazz fusion. No functional harmony, no secondary dominance. B flat minor 9, C7 going to A flat 7. Ah, nice voice leading. Thank you. A flat 7, which is a secondary dominant to D flat, but C flat sus2 sus4. What is it's not that weird. Anyway, that's how I approached this tune. This is Sock Dance.